Now let's just agree that iPhones have always been the first choice amongst a plethora of Android phones, especially in the sale season.
Thank you.
No matter the cut down in features, no matter the missing features, everyone always checks out the deal price of an iPhone. Flipkart knows it, Amazon knows it. But you know what the real question is? Does an iPhone 15 still make sense in 2025? And if it does, at what price? Should Apple Intelligence make a difference? Well, all of your burning questions answered in one single video. This is Rupesh, you're watching Sillycorns. Hit that subscribe button right now and let's get on with it. So first up, let's talk about the elephant in the room, the lack of a camera control button. I mean, that is one good feature.
Let's do it again.
First up, let's talk about the elephant in the room, Apple Intelligence, which in this AI era is still quite a bit lacking even on their flagship models. I mean, yeah, there are practical, actual usable features like auto suggestions or object eraser or even AI writing tools, and even those don't work like you want them to. But talking about AI in the iPhone 15 specifically, yes, you can use apps like ChatGPT, Gemini Live is also there, and yes, Google Photos is also there for the magic eraser. But this doesn't have any built-in AI features, and hear this properly. It's never getting any of it. Now, it would have been a big miss if Apple Intelligence is actually something you use or your partner uses if you're buying this phone for them. But the truth is, if you are heavily reliant on AI to do a lot of things, the Android phones in this price range will just offer you a better experience all around. And yeah, there is another elephant in the room, the iPhone 16e. I mean, the iPhone 16e and the iPhone 15 are practically in the same price range. And honestly, after watching this video, you should go ahead and watch a very, very special video on how great, how beautiful, how amazing the iPhone 16 I mean, to put it into context, it brings some cool stuff like, yes, the Apple Intelligence is there, there's the action button, the new A18 chip with better battery life and longer software support, but then you touch the grass. It has that old notch design from like 7 years back, a single rear camera, there's no ultra-wideband chip, no MagSafe support, so it's an iPhone that's not an iPhone in many ways. See, all of that kind of brings us back to the iPhone 15, and honestly, it's not as easy or simple as it seems. See, first of all, this is one hell of a compact phone. It's smaller, thinner, and lighter than both the OnePlus 13s and the vivo X200 FE. I mean, this weighs in just 171 grams, so super lightweight in the hand, and all of this while having that glass and metal build with an IP68 rating, ceramic shield on the front. But yeah, this glass scratches very easily, so don't use it without a screen protector, but overall still feels very solid. Now, we have it in the matte black finish since quite some time and it looks good, but this does have some paint chipping, just something to note. Now, you've got the USB-C port, no lightning, ancient port, the classic ringer switch is there, so no, there's no action button here, and you have no fancy camera control button, which is like so useful. Come on, Apple. Just watch our iPhone 16 video, you'll know how awesome that is. Anyway, there's also the diagonal camera layout with the smaller housing for the lens that kind of gives away that this is an older iPhone, especially when you put it side by side with the iPhone 16. But here's the thing, it has the same dynamic island as the iPhone 16, so it's not going to feel all that outdated. Now, the iPhone 15 has a 6.1-inch OLED, it is pretty bright under sunlight, has HDR10 and Dolby Vision and Netflix, deep blacks, and the color accuracy is classic Apple, very spot on. But yeah, by 2025 standards, one, this has slightly thicker bezels than the competition, like the 13s and even the X200 FE. Second, and this is a big one, this has Apple's iconic 60Hz screen. Look, you know, I know there are Android phones at half the price with 120Hz or even 144Hz screens. So if you're coming from those, this will feel a bit, very slightly bit laggish, but hey, no iPhone in this price gives you that high refresh rate, so you just gotta deal with it or wait for the 17. Anyway, it's not all sad. The stereo speakers here are very loud, very balanced, and in fact, they sound better than the 13s and the X200 FE. And I have the crispy haptics, and you just get a much better experience everywhere. Now, performance and gaming is something that iPhone users generally don't and should not be looking at. It's not like the iPhone 15 can't handle it, it's just that these iPhones have their traits, if I may call it. And for instance, moderate use of camera in direct sunlight will dim the screen, heat up the phone a bit, but isn't that the case with most iPhones? And I noticed the same pattern when connected to CarPlay in say peak summers, and it just stops charging till it returns to a normal temperature, so there's that. I mean, it's not like the performance is bad or anything. In fact, it's mostly very, very good, very smooth and nice. See, this is the A16 Bionic chip, which is like 3 years old, but still pretty powerful. Now, I'm not going to compare Antutu scores as they are calculated differently, but yes, I did run Geekbench, and in single core, this scores was higher than the Dimensity 9300 Plus on the X200 FE, but yeah, lower in multi-core, and 13S with 8 lit is obviously way ahead in both. Now I get it, iPhone users don't look at numbers, so here's the real deal. I mean, you can play games like BGMI, Call of Duty, and Genshin at super smooth and stable 60 FPS. Even Wuthering Waves starts fine on the high settings, but yes, the phone does get a bit hot in that, which is when you kind of start seeing choppy frames. Now we played the same game on the OnePlus 13S and the vivo X200 FE, and both got hotter than the iPhone 15, but they didn't lag or anything such, so no throttling there. The iPhone 15 also doesn't support those high-end AAA games like Resident Evil Village or Assassin's Creed Mirage, which newer iPhones can, so keep that in mind. Basically, if you're thinking to buy just for gaming, stop right there because you'll get better FPS, better gaming features in most other Android phones in the same price segment. But where this iPhone really shines is the software and the optimization. I mean, like I said, this is still a very good performing phone, very smooth in day-to-day usage. Apps almost never crash, they're smooth. The whole experience is just top-notch except for maybe 60 Hz. And yeah, since Apple gives updates like dil khol ke at least 6 years, this will still get 4 years of OS updates, and that's like iOS 18 heavy, 26, 27, 29, iOS 29, which is pretty awesome. But there is one thing I'd like to point out. The base variant has just 128GB storage, and iOS and its apps generally take more storage than Android and will quickly fill if you shoot lots of photos and videos, which is what we faced. I mean, we literally had to remove some photos and videos from this phone just to, install Wuthering Waves on this. So basically, if you get this phone, buy some Google Drive storage or iCloud because in the ecosystem, then buy an Apple Watch, then buy some AirPods because, hey, it's all connected, then get some, probably a Mac, some iPad, basically to share all that iCloud storage. There's no getting out from this. Now coming to the battery life, I'd rate the battery life as decent-ish. I mean, that's because it gets through a day of moderate use, but don't expect a lot here. I mean, in our experience, we get around 4 to 5 hours of screen on time with like Instagram scrolling, WhatsApp calls, some browsing, some videos, some wireless CarPlay usage, so you get the idea. Now to understand better, we did a test. We charged all 3 phones, iPhone 15, X200 FE and 13S to 100%. Then we played 1 hour of 4K HDR video at max brightness, and after that the Vivo was at 97%, OnePlus was at 96%, and iPhone 15 had already dropped to 93%. So yes, if you're a heavy user, you'll probably have to charge it again somewhere around the evening. Also, charging is just 20 watts max, and it can take more than 1.5 hours to fully charge it. So yeah, pretty slow and painful by 2025 standards. And both the OnePlus 13S and the vivo X200 FE charge in less than an hour while packing in way bigger batteries. Just saying. But one good news is it has MagSafe, so there's a ton of accessories supported. And just to prove how much I love MagSafe, check out the case on my Android phone. Yeah, this is a lifesaver. Now coming to another big question, the iPhone 15, the best camera under 50K? I mean, this has the same 48 megapixel main camera as the iPhone 16 along with the 12 megapixel ultra wide, and this dual camera setup still shines when compared to the competition. And we compared it to the X200 FE, 13S, and the iPhone 15 still wins it when it comes to photos from the primary camera. It just has more natural colors, and it also kind of pulls ahead slightly in terms of detail. Vivo too has solid details but adds a bit of tuning to make photos more pleasing. OnePlus clicks more contrasty images with slightly less details and also often crushes the shadows compared to the other two. Now when you zoom 2x, and this is surprising, iPhone without even a telephoto lens generally gives you the best detail, followed closely by Vivo and then OnePlus, even though the OnePlus is the only one here with a dedicated 2x telephoto lens. But yeah, when you zoom into 3x or more, Vivo takes the lead thanks to his 3x telephoto, followed by OnePlus and the iPhone 15 at last, so not really great at zooming. Even the ultra wide on the iPhone 15 is better than say the vivo X200 FE. I mean, you can see the better details in these photos, and that's probably because this is 12 megapixel while the Vivo is 8 megapixel. Now all 3 phones capture solid portraits. iPhone has natural skin tones, but yeah, it's generally a bit soft in comparison. Vivo sometimes brightens and smoothens the face. OnePlus gives a contrasty look with extra warm skin tones, but again, lots of detail. Yeah, the details in portraits is where the iPhone 15 kind of shows its age. When it comes to selfies, the iPhone 15 has that natural look again. Vivo boosts it slightly to make you look better. OnePlus gives you deeper colors with warm skin tones and also retains a lot of facial detail. I mean, I like those skin tones on iPhone, but yeah, Vivo and OnePlus just have better sharpness. Now video is one area where the iPhone 15 is still hands down the best camera in this price segment. I mean, this is a video shot from the iPhone 15 and you'll get an idea. Now this one's from the Vivo, and yeah, you can see the difference. Let me know what you think in the comments. And lastly, this is the video from the OnePlus 13S. So yeah, Comment down below. I mean, the iPhone 15 just shoots super smooth, stable footage with spot-on exposure, no focus hunting, no jitter, whether you're using the front camera or the rear camera. So the point is the iPhone 15 still has very good cameras. I mean, the primary camera, the ultra-wide, the videos are still top-notch. Yeah, in terms of probably selfies and portraits, I'll prefer the vivo X200 FE, but it's not a big difference. Oh, so here's the deal. Should you buy an iPhone 15 in 2025? Well, if you ask me, I think it depends on two things: your budget and the sale price of this iPhone. See, let's face it, the iPhone 15 has its few flaws. Android phones in the same price and just have better hardware. But other than that, this is still a very solid iPhone to buy. But like I said, depends. See, the big sale season is coming and the iPhone 15 should drop below 50K easily, with Android phones still going in the same price range just because they're new. So if you get this iPhone 15 below 45K, it's a great deal at this price. However, if you can up your budget to around say 55K, get the iPhone 16 because that just packs in a lot more meaningful upgrades which are a lot more future-proof, and that too will be at its lowest price ever soon considering the iPhone 17 launch. And if you're thinking if you should wait for the iPhone 17, well, it will be higher priced obviously, but this time it's bringing some decent upgrades like a 120Hz display, better selfie camera and more, but again, this will be very pricey. So all in all, still a pretty good iPhone for people who just want an iPhone. And yeah, we'll be covering all the deals in the sale season. So make sure to subscribe, hit that bell icon and see you in the next one. Bye.